Good evening. This is Worldview Network. Today's headlines lead with critical developments overseas. Iran says they hit a U.S. base with their new Khorramshahr-4 missile. Why is this specific missile so dangerous? What makes its technology a threat to U.S. defenses in the region? Here is the report. On the 9th of March, Iran claimed to have carried out a dedicated strike against the U.S. military base known as Camp Beering in Kuwait.
According to the announcement, 11 high-value targets were destroyed in a single operation. This includes fuel tanks, the American helicopter ramp, the command building, logistics centers, and core base infrastructure. A massive fire erupted, black smoke visible for miles. Eyewitnesses and intelligence sources reported a panicked evacuation from the base in the aftermath. The operation combined cruise missiles and drones in a coordinated strike, and the IRGC confirmed it deployed the Khorramshahr-4 alongside them. Iran's super heavy ballistic missile carrying a 1,500 kilograms warhead at speeds exceeding Mach 14, and the timing was not random. These strikes were launched within hours of the announcement that Mossadegh had been appointed as Iran's new supreme leader, replacing the father that the United States and Israel killed on February 28. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to break down Iran's attack on this base, and you will see why Iran says its newest weapons have barely been used.
Before we continue, thanks a lot for tuning in. Your support is what keeps this show going, and I appreciate you watching.
Now, here is what we know. Camp Beering is a U.S. military logistics base in northwestern Kuwait. It has been running since 2003. It supports helicopter operations, fuel storage, equipment maintenance, and supply lines for American forces across the Gulf for over 20 years. No country had ever launched a direct military strike against a base like this inside Kuwait. That changed on March 1st when an Iranian drone hit Camp Beering for the first time. Then the IRGC came back on March 9th with a full combined arms assault. The operations specifically targeted the helicopter assembly and repair centers, the aircraft fuel storage, and the base command structure. The drones went in first. The cruise missiles followed. The ballistic missile units struck the helicopter maintenance facilities, the fuel depots, and the command building with precision, resulting in what the IRGC described as significant destruction. The fire that broke out was still burning when the smoke became visible from outside the base perimeter. Reports from eyewitnesses described American personnel rushing to evacuate. This was not a random barrage. It was a sequenced operation. Drones to soften defenses, cruise missiles to hit fixed targets, ballistic assets to destroy hardened infrastructure. The IRGC described it as one of its most important single-base operations of the entire war. And Camp Beering sits in one of the most remote stretches of the Kuwaiti desert. This base was never built to survive what just hit it. So, what exactly is the missile that made this possible? And why should anyone outside the Pentagon care about its specifications? Because the Khorramshahr-4 is not just another weapon in Iran's rotation. It is the single heaviest payload Iran can put on a target. Iran unveiled the Khorramshahr-4, also called KBAR, in May 2023. Iranian state media has described it as a liquid fuel missile, with a range of about 1,300 meters and a warhead weighing over 3,000 pounds. This is a medium-range ballistic missile. Single-stage, liquid-fueled, almost 1,300-mile range that covers every American installation from Bahrain to Qatar to the UAE, the entirety of Israel and portions of southeastern Europe, including NATO infrastructure. But the range is not the defining feature. The warhead is 1,500 kilograms of payload capacity. The IRGC has publicly described it as a 2-ton warhead. That is the heaviest conventional warhead in Iran's entire arsenal. Nothing else they feel approaches it. Under the surface, this missile runs on a newly designed Arvion liquid rocket engine. It carries a separable, maneuverable re-entry vehicle built specifically to adjust its trajectory during terminal descent. That means it can change course on the way down to dodge interceptors like Patriot PAC-3 and the T. The guidance system combines inertial navigation with satellite corrections, which tightens the accuracy enough to hit specific point targets, a fuel depot, a command building, a runway junction, not just a general area. Iranian officials claim they have also cut the fueling preparation time compared to earlier liquid fuel designs. That matters enormously. Liquid-fueled missiles sit exposed on the launch pad during fueling. That is their traditional vulnerability window for preemptive strikes. Faster fueling means a smaller window. The entire Khorramshahr family traces its engineering lineage to the North Korean Hwasong-10, also called the Musa-10, but the Iranians have rebuilt it from the frame up, reinforced structures, different tank configurations, upgraded guidance electronics. What started as a North Korean blueprint is now a purpose-built Iranian weapon with capabilities the original never had. On March 6, French television correspondent Siavash Ghazi confirmed from inside Iran that the Khorramshahr struck U.S. installations in Qatar and Bahrain during the 22nd wave of Operation True Promise for Senamidya Hussein bin Ali in Bahrain. The missile reportedly hit the fuel terminal of the main base supporting the U.S. Fifth Fleet.
IRGC spokesperson Brigadier General Na declared that Iran was prepared for a protracted conflict. He said their new weapons had not yet been deployed on a large scale. After 31 waves, after more than 500 ballistic missiles, after nearly 2,000 drones, the IRGC is still calling this the opening phase. Most people think Iran is burning through its stockpile and running out of options. In reality, a senior IRGC official told Fars News that the missiles used so far were predominantly from 2012 through 2014 production years. Iran has been deliberately holding back its modern arsenal. That is not desperation. That is rationing for a war they expect to last weeks, not days. Who do you think is winning the war? Do you think the war is getting out of hand? Let me know. Thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate your support. Join the discussion in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Please subscribe and like the video if you want to stay updated. And click the videos on the screen to see another. I'll see you soon.